Good morning, ESPN Sports Center. I'm Ryan Shaughnessy. This is Brad Carroll and Crazy Dancing Irons, and we're going to answer the research question you all posed to us, and that was, are we able to create a statistical model that predicts the number of wins in a system? So the one question we have to ask you is,
hey! Do you want to make NCAA football win predictions that are so accurate? Try Powerthirst, a regression model for people who need gratuitous amounts of statistics. Hey, look, an opening.
hold on a minute. Alright, just to run through this real quickly. We've got definitions. Again, we're predicting wins for college football Division I using the top 25 teams from last year. The method, we're going to make it an incredible multiple regression model, and results you will soon find out. So, run with it, Dan.
We have variables like chocolate.
Dan. Wrong product.
Oh. Wait, no. Wrong. Variables like rushing defense, scoring offense, and turnovers gained.
We also have turnover margin, fourth down conversion, and total defense.
It's like adding predictability and chaos theory. Sound the alarm. You're going to be uncomfortably authoritative. What's that? You want the calculations? How about our methodology?
Alright, so our methodology for this, first we're using the principle of correlation, which compares one variable with the other. In each instance, one variable was going to be the number of wins, and using the site that we found, there were about 30 variables to start out with. Just going off common sense and eyeballing some of those stats, which is one of the things we could have improved upon, we narrowed that down to 15. From those 15, we used the principle of regression to narrow that down to just 7 variables. Go ahead, Dan.
Made with Excel! Real Excel! Using DDXO, we tested the correlation and multiple regression of shocking amounts of variables.
Alright, so again, just talk about correlation, what that is. Regression is going to be a process that compares just one variable, the independent wins in this case, with a multitude of other variables. So again, 15 originally, 7 didn't have power stats, so we got rid of those real quick. Also, p-value. P-value is a measure of the significance of a factor of one of the variables, and so lower is better. R-squared and adjusted R-squared are a measure of the correlations we talked about earlier, and that's better to have closer to 1. 1 is ideal, but it's never really possible, but we were shooting for that.
Using p-value and R-squared, we determined those variables with the greatest effect possible. Mind-blowing effects. Predicting sport. Use this model.
Alright, okay, so as we already listed off pretty quickly earlier, these are the 7 variables we brought it down to. So passing efficiency, scoring offense, total offense, turnover gain, turnover margin, fourth down conversion percentage, and total defense.
It's a regression model for men. Mid-gression. Oh.
Alright.
Let's go back one.
Alright, basically for this is just, since that's a lot of data to take in with all the R values and whatnot, we wanted to go ahead and let you know that, give you a graphical example here. Just notice how, as you can see, we have positive correlation with most of these, and then where it was negative, that impacted the model negatively. These are just a couple samples that we have, but as you can see, as number of wins went up, basically their positive aspects went up. So just keep that in mind.
A definite problem that we did have, though, was our p-value, because we allowed it to get way too high without checking it. We put it very small here because we didn't want ESPN to see it. That actually was intentional. The critical value we found to be fairly high considering what is usually expected, but our p-value was up near a 2. So if we had eliminated some more variables, we probably could have done better with that. These aren't your dad's stats. These are multiple regression. Turbo stats. Football statistics, sample size, population size, variance size. We had more analysis than this presentation has room for. We justified this model so much that Brown and Harrison was like, no way. And we were like, R2 is only 0.411.
Which means 41% of the time.
We decided not to recommend it after all. Nonetheless, you'll have so much data. Just data all the time. Data running, data lifting, data mining, data checking, data sending, data evaluating our equation.
Hold on. Once again, as you can see, we cut down, trimmed it down to these variables just so you wouldn't have to deal with all that data on your end. Basically just plug in variables from the season, and that's all you have to worry about. It'll give you the number of wins. Yeah.
We decided to keep so many variables for this equation. 7 of 15 variables. We put the best and worst NCAA teams through our equation and found our equation was good at win source. It made our predictions abnormally precise.
Dan, once again, hold on. Next slide, please. Alright. Basically, as you can see here, we applied it to the top 5 teams and bottom 5 teams of the top 25, giving us varied results. Also, we found an issue when we compared it to one of the worst teams in the league, Florida International, in that they only had 1 win, but it predicted 5 wins. So we feel that comes from going and just using the top 25 teams. It's going to overrank the lower ones. So, as stated before, you need to go and get a random sample of all the teams in Division 1 to make it more accurate.
We were still as precise as psychics. People will see you using our equation and think you're a psychic.
All right. We got a few important things to talk about. We only got a minute left. So, sorry. Just a few things that people haven't brought up as issues before that we'd like to add. You try to use this model at the start of the season, for example, and say LSU is playing in terrible weather. The things that we're measuring, like passing efficiency, total offense, scoring offense, those numbers are going to be affected greatly by that. So that's going to have an impact later on in the season. So our conclusion overall is that ESPN shouldn't use this model just by itself, but if they can integrate it into some kind of system that involves also scouting reports from just roving ESPN people, also taking into also taking into account human factors, great players, as was said before. If you can put this statistical model into an overall system, ESPN could make use of it, but we wouldn't recommend you using it alone. Thanks.
Can I finish the...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Don't watch SportsCenter because they think you're psychic, even predict against actual psychics when... Oh, crap. Psychics, then there will be a lawsuit and they'll tell Ms. Cleo that she isn't really psychic. Hey, go with the short thing. Don't gamble without our equation. NCAA violation. Try Powerthirst, the NCAA football team win prediction regression equation that'll make you accurate.